First, let's talk about short rows in general. Short rows are exactly what they sound like, rows that do not go all the way across your knitting. Instead, you knit or purl partway across. Then turn your work and go back the other direction. This creates extra fabric in one area, which allows you to shape your knitting in 3 dimensions. Without short rows, flat knitting would stay flat. With short rows, you can curve, sculpt, and shape. Welcome to Relax Knitting. Today we are talking about German short rows, one of the neatest and most satisfying techniques in knitting. Short rows appear in many popular knitting projects. Here are the most common ones. In socks, short rows shape the heel. That curved pocket that cups your heel perfectly, that is short rows at work. In sweaters, short rows shape the bust, the shoulders, and the back neck. They help a garment sit correctly on the body rather than pulling or bunching. In shawls, short rows create curved edges and interesting geometric shapes that would be impossible to achieve any other way. In hats, short rows can create a barré-style slouch, or tilt the brim at an angle. And in color work and texture projects, short rows add unexpected dimension and movement to the fabric. Let's begin. When you reach your turning point, you simply turn your work. That part is easy. What happens next is where the magic is. After you turn, you need to create that double stitch on the first stitch of the new row. Here is how it works, and pay close attention because the direction of your yarn matters. If you are now facing a purl stitch, meaning the bump of the stitch is facing you, move your yarn to the back away from you and slip the first stitch purlwise. Then bring the yarn back up and over the needle to the front. This pulls both legs of the stitch up onto the needle, creating your double stitch. Now continue purling your stitches until you reach the next turning point. In this example, we turned after 3 stitches from the central marker. We do the same here. Purl until you reach the central marker, then purl 3 more stitches past it, and turn again. If you are now facing a knit stitch, meaning the smooth V of the stitch is facing you, slip the first stitch purlwise and move your yarn to the front. Then bring the yarn over the needle to the back. Again, this pulls both legs up and creates your double stitch. Now continue knitting until you reach the first double stitch from your previous turn. When you come back to the double stitch on a following row, simply insert your needle through both legs of the stitch and work them together as one. On a knit row, knit both legs together. Now continue knitting your stitches until you reach the next turning point. In this example, we turned after 2 stitches from the last turn. We just knitted the double stitch as one, knit 2 more stitches, and turn. You will notice a small bump on the back side of your knitting. This is completely normal and it's simply how the double stitch looks from behind. Let's repeat the turn once more. You are now facing a purl stitch. Slip 1 stitch to the right needle and pull the yarn to the back, creating your double stitch. A few tips to help you along the way. Always slip the stitch purlwise when creating the double stitch. This keeps the stitch mounted correctly on the needle. Take your time with the yarn movements. Going slowly the first few times helps you feel the double stitch form correctly. You will actually feel the 2 legs pop up onto the needle. When you come back to work the double stitch, look at it carefully. Both legs should be clearly visible. If it looks like a normal single stitch, check again. You may have missed the turn step. And finally, block your finished piece. Even the neatest short rows will tighten up beautifully with blocking, and any tiny imperfections will disappear. German short rows are one of those techniques that feels complicated before you try them, and completely natural once you do. Once you work a few turns, you will wonder why you ever used any other method. There is also another method for working short rows, which many knitters find even more invisible. Japanese short rows. We will cover that in our next video, where I will show you how to work Japanese short rows and compare them side by side with German short rows, so you can decide which method works best for you. Thank you for watching Relax Knitting. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment below telling me which project you are planning to use German short rows in. I would love to know. See you in the next video.